Welcome back to Not In My Lifetime channel. Saturday evening, we finally won 2 games in a row. Not just one game, 2 games in a row. It feels good, Evo. It feels good to actually celebrate victory, a good patch of form, rather than just one win and then back to a draw and loss and another patch of form. How you doing, mate? How's your New Year and Christmas?
Yeah, good mate. Manic, like I think most people's Christmases and New Year's are. Don't
Yeah.
get 5 minutes these days, but yeah, all good. Glad to be back. New year, fresh start. 2 wins now. City are back. Let's uh, let's keep the momentum going. Let's keep the momentum going. We'll get on to obviously our thoughts about certain players and stuff shortly, but um, really, really promising things that I've seen today. Defensively, still shite. I
Oh,
think it's safe to say. West Ham could have been 2-0 up in the first half at one point.
yeah.
We got back into it with a fairly lucky goal through Savio, but we'll cover all that shortly. But yeah, good start to the new year. Big year ahead.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a massive window, obviously, now, isn't it? January, obviously, this is it, really. Like today proved to me that we need players. And there's not like, oh, we won 4-1, that means we're okay. No. If you actually watch that game back, we need players. Definitely need players. And I don't want like just bit part players. We need actual players that come in this team and make a difference right now. Because I'm sorry, like no DM, and you can see how bad it is. It's still being very easy to run through us at the defensive. People would say, "Oh, if it doesn't matter on 4-1." Yep, celebrate a 4-1 win. I'm celebrating a 4-1 win. So you, Bevo, we're all celebrating a 4-1 win. We all are. But I can't just sit there and put your hands in your ears and go, right, and nothing's happening. In
The
order for us
problem,
to get better,
I was just going to say, the problem that I think that we've had is defensively we've been piss poor for a while, but we weren't scoring either. It's nice to see that Haaland's now found his scoring boots again. Um, got a goal in his last game, and 2 more today. Um, yeah, it now it actually looks like we're able to score again, which is a good thing. So,
yeah,
um, I mean, that's always kind of been the way that Pep likes to play. Is as long as you score more than the other team, then you know you win football matches. The problem is that we were defensively poor, which that's not the end of the world, but it is the end of the world when you're not creating chances and scoring.
yeah.
So if you can create chances and score, you're on to something. I think this January transfer window is going to be massive for us. I think this could really kick on the season. I wouldn't write us out of the title race just yet. I think you've got AFCON coming up soon, so Salah's going to be missing for quite a while with Liverpool. So, he's definitely been their bread and butter this season. He's kept them in quite a few games. I think taking him out of that team, it's still going to be a fairly strong team, but is it going to be the Liverpool that we're seeing at the moment? I don't think so. Arsenal look really, really poor, if I'm being honest with you. They look like a shadow of their former selves from a few years ago and last year. I think this second half of the season could really open right up. You've got teams at the moment that are near the top, teams like Notts Forest and teams like that. I can't see them staying up there and keeping up with us going throughout the season. Towards the end of the season, fair enough. Halfway through the season, fine, but second half of the season's always different. Always different. Chelsea again, drawing to Palace today, another crap result for them.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, they
Palmer,
they
then.
They don't look like they're real contenders for anything. So I think whilst all of these teams around us are drawing, and that's getting us right back in there and into the mix, and that's always a good sign. And I think for the first time in a very long time, I'm actually backing United tomorrow to hopefully try and do something.
I think for me, then, I'll be right in terms of the title. I don't really care yet because we're still sixth. I want to get back to the top four first. I want to get second first. Then I worry about the league title. I know that you are right. It's still open, but I want to see some Liverpool drop points before I start getting excited, and also our form getting better. I need to see a bit more from us first before I was thinking, you know what, we've got a chance. Right now, 2 wins is great. It's great, but Brentford away will be a tough one. I know we've got Salford next, but next league is Brentford away. And Brentford just went back. Well, Southampton shit anyway, but it's still 5-0 win away from home. Obviously today, and Boomer and this on the counter attack will be hard. It will be a hard one. So
yeah, it will.
You know what I mean? So you've got to do that, and you're right, but one game at a time. One game
of course.
at a time.
But
you know what I mean?
the thing is, when are people gonna learn? Every single year people say the same thing. Oh, City are out of the title race. City, you had Gary Neville last year, saying on Sky Sports, oh, Arsenal are going to win it this year. I think it's going to be too much for City. City haven't had a great start to the season. Every year we have a piss poor start to the season. It just so happens that we've lost a few more games. This year we've just lost a few more games than we normally would at in the first half of the season, but you still don't write us out of it.
Oh God, no.
That's the biggest mistake. That's the biggest mistake that you can do is writing us out of a title race. Honestly, and I'm not saying we are going to win the Premier League this year. Personally, I don't think we will. To go 5 years in a row is an ask, but when are people going to learn? We're not out of this. People. You've got fans saying, "Oh, you're going to get relegated" and stuff like that. Like, this is coming from like United fans that are further down the league than we are. You've got United fans saying, "Oh, they're going to get relegated so they don't get hit with the 115 charges." This is what it's all about. Like, shut up, mate. You're 14th in the league. Like, seriously,
15th.
Yeah. As of tomorrow, it'll probably be 15th or 16th. But the thing is, like, stop everybody, even our own fans, stop writing us off. Stop becoming other teams, and other teams' fan bases. There are a lot, and I won't name names because I'm not going to name and shame teams, but there are teams out there that have very, very reactionary fan bases, and one of them came close One of them came close last year and came close a year before. They've got a very, very reactionary fan base, and just stop it. Just trust the team, trust the board. We will be back. We will get better. 2 wins in a row now. Let's look at the next game, make it 3, and let's get this winning form back on track.
Yeah, big up Kelster. I know he's currently in Denver. Anyway, on holidays at the moment with us some friends, but obviously she's been doing stuff today throughout the day as well. Big up to Savo to Haaland. Yeah, that is the link up right now. I'm very much right now, and I was hopeful at the start of the season. I'm happy it's working now. The patience is paying off. I think people who doubt Savio, I thought better City than this. He'd be doing even better right now. Is that he's been unfortunately put in a City team as aging that needs a refresh, and he's part of that refresh. By the way, he is part of that change up. He's part of that next to come. But the guy, when he's given the service from Foden and De Bruyne and that, look how good he is. Like, still pass through foul. The ability to do that, and the flair, and know when to do it at the right time. It's been something that we've missed since Leroy Sané. And I'm so pleased that we finally sort of found a player that can do that. Obviously, Mahrez was a very similar player, but he's more of a dribbling sort of style of player. But for Savio, it's a massive, you know, asset to have. I'm really pleased with it. I'm really pleased that we've actually, we've got someone who can do that. And also, it was a great cross for the goal, Haaland's goal, brilliant. When the work rate in the midfield, so I run through the midfield and pass to Haaland at the right moments, then get the third goal. Fantastic fortune today. Very, very good fortune of Savio today. Haaland definitely play for Savio. He does, mate. I think I agree on that one. I think it was because of anything LB show earlier on today. I think Haaland does prefer playing with Savio than playing with Doku. Doku's a bit more. Doku, I think, more. He runs more at defenders and more like to have a shot or do that than actually is past the Haaland. I think he's more of a direct player than actually a correct player. I think that's fair enough. But I think if you're going to have Doku, you want Savio as well. I think he's one way of being creative, one to be direct. I think if you're going to do that, that's what I would go with. Big up FIFA, bro. Tomorrow, hate. We'll do one, and yeah, Salford. That's what I said. I think Salford. Obviously, I'll play some players who have got a lot of experience in there, but yeah, I'll definitely play a couple. Of kind of like Jacob Wright and that if they were still in for a go on loan. But yeah, that's what I'll do as well. But yeah, I'm sure they'll be back in a bit. But it's been, it's a very good performance today. 4-1. Haaland got 2 goals. Great to see him happy. A much more happier squad, obviously after a big win today. Is it the start of the turnaround? I hope so. Obviously, Leicester was a big win as well. I think that obviously the downside, obviously, probably the goal scene, obviously, and also defensively wasn't the best. I think I can a bit off today. I thought Gvardiol played very well today. Rico also very well. Okay with these. Well, I think defensively is a miss, but it's going to be because we're not quite at our level yet, and haven't got Diaz back or Stones back yet. We still need players back from injury, so it's not really 100% there yet. But if we keep getting better and better each game and work towards that, obviously, that big game, obviously against them, obviously for Salford next, obviously then we got away. It's all about getting better, obviously, each game, and I hope we can do that. Whereas Haaland as well playing Messi. You know what? It's not about shout. I think for me in Salford, Haaland really should be a last resort anyway. Like I'm not being funny. Right, we're at home to Salford. You should be getting out anyway. And I think I definitely would be thinking playing maybe like McAtee or something like that, or playing some of the kids in that game to get a bit of experience. But obviously, I wouldn't play a full team of kids, but definitely would play a few young players in that team, so sort of give them a bit of experience. But yeah, 2 games in a row. I think for me, mate. Yeah, I think me most of all from that game, and you both agree. Obviously, positives wise, we'll obviously get into in a bit as well. But the bench and Cole coming on, it just didn't work, and it hasn't worked all season. I think for me, Kyle Walker, we've got to let go of him now. I think
his time's come. I actually believe one of the worst decisions I think Pep's ever made was taking Kyle Walker out to that lunch. Because since then there's just been a rapid decline. I think we should have just let him join Bayern Munich when he had the chance to go. I think that was when we should have started the rebuild and finding long-term replacements for people like Walker. Yeah, for me, I would be very shocked if he didn't leave come January. Well, this window. I think if there's an offer this window, I think we have to take it.
Do you know what? I appreciate how positive you are, man. You say it's a lot about a treble, man. It would be hilarious if this team
We're not going to win another treble. We're not going to win another treble. That's the reason it's been done. It's been done once by a Premier League team because it's difficult. And well, twice, before us, obviously it was once. But it's as more and more games start to happen, you're going to see a lot less of these things happen now, like trebles. When they start adding games on to Champions Leagues, there's like 6 extra games in the Champions League now, or something mad like that. And when they start adding in sort of extra games, and if they look to start taking the Premier League abroad to America, you're less likely to see these things like travels happen again. And I can't see there being another treble for a very, very long time. I think it will be done again in the Premier League, but I don't know.
I love it, mate. I need to see it before I believe it. It sounds crazy, but even when we did win it, mate, I kept thinking that FA Cup final was a loss because one of them games where it's final, but thankfully everything aligned for us that year, which everything was perfect for us that year. But yeah, I'm kind of like, for me at the moment, I'm at a point where like I'm taking a game at a time. If we get top 4 and FA Cup, enough of it. Especially where the squad is right now. It's not obviously our standards, obviously, and where we are as a club, as a team, but sometimes you have to accept that sometimes we're at the moment where we are, we have to sort of accept that the team has been sort of left to rot in a way, and we've got to improve. So it's kind of like is what it is. Obviously, you've got this month obviously to come. And obviously, yesterday I talked about Bush yesterday and Kusanov and Edison. Now, I'm going to ask you, Bevo, as well about this.
I'm still here, by the way. I can still hear you. I'm just going to grab a drink. So ask away.
I can't see Edison happening. I don't think Atlanta will listen unless we pay a premium offer for him right now. I really can't see Edison coming to City in this month. It depends on
it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one because arguably you could say the same about that Mamouche. 18 goals and 12 assists in 24 games is ridiculous. Are Frankfurt going to really want to let him go halfway through the season? No, probably not. But if the player doesn't want to be there and an offer comes in, a club have to at least look to accept it.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean.
Now, it's a tricky one because historically, no team has ever wanted to let their good players leave halfway through a season. I feel more so with Atlanta because I could be wrong, but I don't think they're doing that well in the Serie A. I don't think. Are they top? Are they?
Yeah, that's why I said behind.
Are they actually top?
Napoli right now, but they are a game in hand on Napoli. So and Inter are third right now. So right now they're in a title fight for the first time in history.
Oh, sorry, I was thinking of Milan. I was thinking of AC Milan, the 8th.
Atlanta. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. It's a tricky one because you're going to want to keep your best players to see out a season. Historically, that's why a lot of big transfers have been done sort of come the summertime. But I kind of feel like if we're serious and we put an offer down on the table, then why not? Why not? There's talk that this Mamouche desperately wants City. Now, if that's the case, then and he pushes through a transfer, the club have to at least consider it because it's not going to be good for the club to keep hold of him.
Yeah.
He's going to be he'll probably end up being a disruption in the dressing room. It'll cause conflicts between players, and inevitably, we might not come back in the summer to look for him. So, teams like Frankfurt are probably more likely to accept a bid. But I think the Edison one's probably. I think I see. I've always said this, but I see that more as a summer signing.
Yeah.
I don't think we get Edison. I've said it for a long time, and I still stick by what I said. I see a Douglas Luiz loan deal in January for us. That's where I think our business is. I've said that on Twitter, and people have come back and said, if I said this months ago and said it publicly on Twitter months ago, and people have come out and said, if this is true, then your credibility will rocket. Like I don't want to take any credit for it. It seems like a natural decision to do. He's not playing any game time for Juventus. He's Premier League proven. He's going to want game time, and if Juventus are obviously not keen on playing him, so give him a loan transfer for 6 months.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think for me though, I think people say, "Oh, he's not good." Like, people say, "Oh, he's not that good," and that. But the thing is, he's better than what we've got right now. Like, if you can't get Bruno G, if you can't get these players right now that you want for him now, then Douglas Luiz fills a stopgap for the moment. Look, for me personally, Bruno Guimaraes would be a massive player for this club. He'd be a massive player because you look at how good we are with the likes of obviously likes of Sam right now. Since we're playing really well now. If you get another player like Bruno G in midfield, like imagine getting Edison and Bruno G this summer.
Yeah,
midfielders with a bit of pace, a bit of bollocks, a bit of power. And you get like Foden as well. You've got 3 midfielders that you can sort of rotate around as well. That instantly has so much more power, more pace, and more ability to midfield, and it makes us so less susceptible on the attack because you've got players who can run back and sort of get in there and sort of stop happening. And it will give players like Savio, Doku, and Bob and that. I'm not sure who'll get. I think for me. And as they proved it as well, Jack. I think he's done summer. I think he's gone because
I don't think he's got. I've always tried to defend him. We were on a United TV show not that long ago, and I've always tried to defend our players. It doesn't matter whether it's Walker, whoever. If I'm going on, on a City channel, I'll speak my truths and I'll say what I believe. But and I'll still do that on other fans' channels. But you'll always, regardless of how much they're affecting the team, you've got to stick by your players. And I've done that with Jack, and ever since day one, I've always tried to justify his transfer value that he came over to us for, and I'll continue to defend him, but I do think he doesn't have much more to offer us. He's not scored a goal in over a year. We need more than that.
Mm.
There's talk that Newcastle are looking at him. Why? He's not going to play over Anthony Gordon, is he?
Gordon's better than him. It is.
Do you know what I mean? He's not going to play over Anthony Gordon.
I'm sorry, people on the hill. I've watched Jack enough now. I know how good he can be, but it's not going to be at City. 6 months does not make his.
He would suit somewhere like Italy, somewhere where the style of play is a lot slower.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, Jack at Villa was a different type of player, but did he score a lot of goals? No. He had one half decent season. But he's never really been a goal scorer. So we were never bringing him in as a goal scorer. But to not score a goal in over a year, when you're contending for Premier League year after year after year, that's not good enough. It's not.
Before you carry on. Jan Fjortoft, he's a Bundesliga.
Oh, is that the Lens centre back?
No, Fjortoft. He's a Bundesliga. He's links to the
Sorry,
Haaland
you kind of like cut out on me halfway through.
Jan Arge Fjordtoft, he's the Norwegian.
Oh right, yeah.
To start the Haaland and that. It's not about, but basically it's about Mamouche. Basically, Frankfurt will not let him go to the window. Apparently.
Fair enough.
Now, the thing is, right, I'm not freak out about that because, to be honest with you, I don't think I would like him right now, but Frankfurt will obviously want to see how far they can go with it. I get it. I think that's my move anyway, but I do have to wonder, though, how, because the thing is, although he's saying that, City and Lee, Lashkowski, Jack Gorn, nothing gets said at all. At all, in terms of Mamouche.
No.
Yesterday's media. So I don't know what to make of it. Because, like, I'm not saying he's wrong, by the way, but this is what I mean, like, right now. Like, it's all about, right now. It's day for the window, and we've got Kusanov, Edison, and Mamouche. Don't wrong, I'm excited about Mamouche because I think that's what will probably happen at some point with us. I think that's probably what we're going for with him.
I think it would be a perfect signing. I think it would be a perfect signing for us anyway, because he wouldn't be a backup for Haaland because he can play in different positions. He's quite versatile. So I kind of feel like he would be a perfect fit for us. Now, if Frankfurt aren't willing to let him go, then that's absolutely fine. But we don't know how true these sources are. I mean, there was a source yesterday that was quite a public media outlet in sort of the Southeastern Asia and Egypt and places like that. And I think it was, and they had like 13 million followers, and they were saying it's basically a done deal. Now you just don't know. I'm, people were saying to me, "Oh, if you think that he's signing, then you're crazy." And I'm like, I never said he was, but if he was to sign for us, I'd be all for it. You know?
Yeah. Look, I think City are good enough to get anyone in the world if they're looking for it. But let's be real, you want to get Musiala or Wirtz now. Because as far as where we're at right now, all but some new deals. Are they? I've seen reports. Actually seen them put pen to paper yet. Bear in mind, it's January now. I'm not saying the last 6 months, but it is where it gets a bit of squeak bum time.
Oh, yeah,
like, you know what I mean? So, people say, oh, it's not going to happen. Well, again, like, I get because you don't get burnt. Before Bellingham, Messi, Ronaldo, we've been there, haven't we? We've been there. Harry Kane, we've been there before in terms of trying to be burnt. I get it. Like, you're going to get burnt again. But at some point, you got to be a bit confident and a bit of club and a bit of balls to say, you know what, my club can get players in. And I think the summer is when you'll start getting the big names in. I think January is a hard, although you got the money to actually pay the players, it's a hard month to get anyone in because it's 4 weeks. That's not long a month. It goes by quickly. Like what? It's day 4 now, not almost day 5, and like what? All rumors so far. I know you have your reports saying, "Oh, when should this play that play?" But nothing like set up concrete as in a bit put in place. It's been very much a quiet window so far. The fun is in, I get it, but it's going to be quiet at the moment because obviously the club are obviously looking at what they can get in. Because Pep will want players in, he will. But look at Pep's reaction after the game today. He said, "Oh, you won 4-1. You must be happy." No, I'm not.
Yeah, it's true though. It was a win, but are we playing our best football? No. But
no,
we're not going to be playing our best football when, we need to fill in gaps. If we had Rodri fit and Oscar Bob fit and Ruben Diaz fit and John Stones fit and all of these players fit, would we be playing our best football? Maybe. but we're missing too many key figures.
Yeah. So, well, the thing is, right? As much as like, I mean, what I'll say about the moment is that until we get reports from Simon Bashkovsky saying
The other thing that I do know, and I was told this very early on, during the summer transfer window that's just gone, is that City are keeping their cards very, very close to their chest, especially with media. They're not letting too much onto the media about who we're looking at, who we're signing. That's why things have been a bit up in the air of like, oh, City, who's City be, we've probably been looking at, and I know that we've been looking at quite a few top talents, but they don't want the media to get hold of it because the media have basically slandered them for the last 2 and a bit years now over these 115 allegations. Do you really think they're going to want to give them any information on players that we're going to be signing? No. They'll tell the media when they're ready to tell the media. Does that mean that we're signing Marmoush? No. Does it mean that we are signing him? I don't know.
Well, because this is what I mean.
We might be signing him. We might not be. I don't know.
But in the past, then, man, you agree with like in the past windows, right, when the club told a bit more, or when Barada telling the media.
Have you noticed? Right, I'll tell you something now. Have you noticed that it since Barada has left, nothing's been kind of leaked to the media as much?
Yep, exactly. I noticed that, and as I said before, like, bear in mind, if Sam Lee said nothing about this, none of us, bear in mind, Sam Lee, Sam Bashkowski, and Jack Gore are the three pillars that you go to for City stuff. They're the three that report the stuff. Probably.
Here's one for you. 2-0 Sport. City have reportedly made an initial offer for Douglas Luiz, proposing a loan deal.
Well, there we go. Now, obviously, look.
I called that 2 months ago.
It's look, people are like, oh, but yeah, good. Well, he's better than what we've got right now.
He's Premier League proven, and he can take a penalty, which most of our players can't.
Apart from Haaland can, but when Haaland's on form, we can do it. When we're not form, we can't do it. But Haaland most time on penalties. I do. This year, not the best, but most of the time I trust him. But yeah, I think when it comes to this window, if I was any City fan right now, I would wait to hear back from the main guys, because when they reported about Zubimendi and Guimaraes and said it was going to happen, that's probably the club saying it's not going to happen, because we don't know what's going on. The fact that there's been a lack of rumours about that anyway tells you what we need to know, because if we go for London, else said nothing. None of the family, none would have gone. But you can very tell early on they said that's more for the summer. That's fair enough. I can't blame them for doing that. Otherwise, you are spending 4 weeks trying to negotiate with Newcastle and Zubimendi and Sociedad, and that's like that could be an absolute nightmare. So I think you want to save that for the summer to prepare that deal for the summer, because I think Bruno G is doing more on the summer way. Me personally. But I think the likes of Marmoush, the likes of Kusanov, the likes of Edison, so far, nothing's been said yet. I know that Filtov said something, but it's not bloody, it's not the main guys saying anything yet. It's a little bit too early to start saying it's over yet. We've got to be a bit patient. We've got to see what happens, because I think next week we'll see a few pieces, come through. But I'll say right now, guys,
things will start developing. I'd probably say things have probably already started to develop that we just don't know about.
Exactly. Yeah.
Don't forget the January transfer windows. It's a long window. It's a month. Give or take. We're only on the 4th. Give it time.
I get it. We're desperate because we haven't had any squad development probably on a high scale for a while. I get it, but the club know effed up. They have admitted that it messed up, and Pep knows it himself that the squad size that he wants to pass is too small. He's a bigger squad now, so that's why we're going for players now. So I think what we got to do is be a bit patient. Again, I'm not being happy. I'm not being happy. I'm being realistic. Look, I'm not going to sit here and get angry and sort of put toys out of the pram because I've got players in. There's no point doing that because what does that achieve? Nothing. I'd rather just be honest and say, look, we want players in. If they don't bring it in, then they'll call it out. We'll say, what are you doing? Because the club know the players in. Now, people will say, oh, we didn't get anyone in because the charges have been improved. Well, the thing is, the club won't spend money on players anyway. It'll give it a bit.
Yeah.
Because if we were guilty of 115, right, this would have been charged ages ago, not just now.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just at the moment. Let's just take a chill pill and relax. Like we know what we need. We know what and today prove it most of all. We need players in midfield and players in defence, and then the attack. Because I think Mamouche would help. Definitely. I wouldn't say apart from that is much else needed anyway. The attack itself, I'll probably one player. I'm fine with attack anyway. It's just more the field and injury. I'm also maybe a keeper as well. Or tell you what, one point was injured. I thought, oh god, please don't see Carson in goal. Carson in goal for a few games.
I mean, have you actually seen Carson's stats when he's played in goal for us?
What is that?
Well, the previous two games, he had clean sheets in both. Apart from the last game he played in, I think he conceded one.
Newcastle put a 4-3 a few years ago, wasn't it? He played Carson a goal.
Then he had two games where both were clean sheets. And then another game he played, he conceded one.
Right. Okay.
So he's only conceded one goal in his last 4 games for City.
Although I think for me though, it's definitely keeping it.
I'm joking, by the way. Like, I think we're more likely to see an academy player.
Oh yeah,
come in if that was the case. The problem is I can't see us getting another goalkeeper because we've got a very good number 1, an exceptional number 2. Whenever are you going to play the number 3?
Good point. Yeah.
The only way we're ever going to get another goalkeeper is if Ederson or Ortega leave. And I personally, I don't see Ederson staying past the summer.
Yeah, I agree. Big up, Steve. How you doing, mate? Big up, mate. It's the first time in a while. It's a scene, you know, you've been busy.
I think it's the first time. I think it's the first time I've ever seen him not call you Lars.
It's been that's a long. That joke's been a long time. Yeah. Like since that joke happened, 1 win in 13. So don't bring it up again. I was going that run, so we'll leave.
No, when he was calling you Lars, we were winning. He needs to go back to calling you Lars again.
You know what? Fine, I'll humble myself. I'll accept it. But big up Steve, mate. I'm doing well, friend. But yeah, I just I'm getting too worried about it. Yeah, it's day 4, day 5. I think for me, I'm happy more with the victory than with the France stuff right now. If drawn today or lost, then that would have been a real indicator of a real, I no, I think today was all about getting the win, and I think for me particularly, it was good seeing some of those players who've been playing a lot in that bad run. Games like Lewis, had a great game today. Was brilliant. I thought Gardner had a game today as well. Foden, brilliant. Foden, I think I've seen him play his proper style. The goal he did well today. That ball to Savio for the second goal. It looked like he was much more confident himself today. That's what the old phone
That
involved.
ball from Savio though for Haaland's second goal. What was it? No, it was his first goal, wasn't it?
No,
Yeah, it was his first goal because the second goal was a chip, wasn't it?
yeah, that was sort of. I
I mean,
always thought.
to be honest, both of those balls. To be fair, both of those assists were incredible. The first one was an absolute thing of beauty. That cross was exceptional. But then that second ball, the second assist for Haaland's second, we've been crying out for a ball like that to Haaland for months. You know, how many times have I said to you, stop playing crosses into the box because Haaland's shit at heading the ball. You need to play balls for him through the defence for him to run onto. And he did both exceptional.
To be fair, Haaland's heading recently actually been pretty decent. Like that header was really good. He's getting better at it. I just
that cross was that good though that Haaland's header was uncontested. I think if he had a defender on him or defender in his back, he wouldn't have probably got that on target. It was the fact that ball was so perfect.
He was exceptional. He was absolutely exceptional. I mean, Savio today. That's what. Look, I'm not asking for every. Look, I'm not asking him to do it every game. Like he's 20 years old. He need to give you in his first season. But I gotta say, for a first season though, mate, I'm impressed. Despite everything around him and the club the way it is and the squad where it is, he's probably been a shining light. And I know he hasn't got many goals this season, but the assists and the way he's been playing creatively and skillfully, he's been a shining light that we needed for a long time in this team. And I'm not saying he's the key. I think he's one of the keys, but we've got to start using him effectively. I mean, on the left wing, that's where he belongs now. That's where he belongs. I think. I know it was Jack and it was Nunez. For me, it's Savio. Savio's left wing now for me. That right wing spot, I'm Doku or Bob. Doku or Bob. I think, look, Nunez to me, in the summer, sell him on. It's not going to... I don't not like the guy, but if he's a squad player, that's fine. But... we've already got enough players as it is. Unless Gundogan goes in summer, unless our players start going in the summer, I really cannot see someone like him. I think, this is where like the club have really got to work out which players are staying, which are going. I think if at some point this year we'll do a proper like squad. After the window closes, who are having and confirmed in first of the season, we'll do a stream breaking down who if it's going to go as well. Because I think, I'm being brutal now, mate. I think everyone's place now is up for grabs. Everyone's place now? Everyone is up because next season's big. This is big one. Next season. So everyone's team has got to start playing well now. If you want to be here next season, I want to see you fighting for it. Happy New Year to you both. Cheers, mate. Happy New Year to you as well, Steve. Good. You know what? It's also a bit of a laugh because I tell you, it's been a miserable few weeks. I tell you, City Twitter has been an absolute fucking cesspit at times. Even on here, even on here as well. The infighting, the bloody strike comments has been absolutely ridiculous. It's a school playground times in there, but I'm pleased we're finally getting a little bit chilled out now, which is good. These 2 wins have give a little bit of respite. I think we need that because I can't handle seeing Twitter going to absolute meltdown. So, a bit of positivity at least, but no, I think to be better. I couldn't really I just sort of watched the game through memes that I had to try highlights really on YouTube, on Twitter and that but I was impressed with what I saw. Now look, defensively, obviously there's issues. There is. I think Kanji looks knackered. The midfield isn't fully there yet. Obviously, I think having like a Douglas Luiz in midfield helps us out a lot. Is the answer to It's everything, no, but I think for the moment, for the season, he's probably the answer right now. Him and Douglas Luiz at the DM spot, perfectly fine at the moment. Obviously,
I, I would put my whole credibility on the line and say that deal will happen. I've said it for months. I've literally said since last year we will more likely sign Douglas Luiz than we will like Zubimendi or anyone like that, because it seems the natural fit. You know, if you don't believe me, go back. People can go back on my Twitter and check my posts out. But I said this back early December. Big up Steve, by the way. Nice to see you in the chat as well, lad. Happy New Year to you as well, mate.
Steve, mate. I saw it on LB show earlier on. I'm watching it before I went live myself, and said some good points. Always said, "Hey, on your alters, I'm cold to the gym, mate. I'm more the gym. I'm cold. I'm a good thing with anyway. But people I've got relationship with anyway. But big up to you on the journey. I wish you all the best friend. Good to see your goals too. Must be exactly that is actually a good point, Steve. Very good point. You have to wonder because. Bear in mind, Marmoush and that move hasn't been. I know we've heard denying it, but not from actual sources yet. Is there an element of truth to that signing? Has that given them a kick up the arse that we need now to say, all right, we actually need to start, playing well here. Otherwise, our spots on line here. Like, I think Savio for me is spot actually in doubt anyway. I think it's more Doku. I think for me it's more Doku. I'd say. It's more Doku because Doku, Grealish. I mean, these guys are also playing well now. Haaland, I think, especially, but Haaland will know how good Haaland is anyway. But this squad now needs to realize that it's aren't guaranteed anymore. Like nothing's guaranteed anymore, and we've got to see it. We've got to see these players start stepping up more. Yeah, I've seen Luke. Apparently, yeah, I've seen that. I'm not sure. Obviously, I know Yanago's actually a good source and sort of he's wrong on that. But obviously it's the summer, fair enough. But obviously, I'll ask you this, though. Do you think we've got enough in the current team going forward to last the rest of the season? Or do you think we need more now?
No, I don't. But I also don't think that it's a priority signing. I don't. It's certainly that there are other priorities that I think come first before looking for an attacking player. I think we need to find a real solid player that can play a 6 and an 8, or and I also think that we need to also be looking at investing in a right back or centre back that can play right back, like an Akanji type player. Because inevitably John Stones is made of biscuits and so is Nathan Ake. So granted, Nathan Ake doesn't play right-sided centre-back, but I think it's proven as well over recent months that Ruben Diaz, I've noticed, has picked up quite a few injuries as of late. He's been in and out of the team quite a bit through injury. So I do think that a centre-back / right back is very much needed, as well as a 6/8, because I don't think creatively we've got enough going forward. But I think if we were to sign a 6 that can play an 8 that can play a 6, would also cope with that as well, if that makes sense. A player like a Marmoush would be a bit of a luxury signing, so to speak.
But
I think if it's something that we can add to our ranks, then yeah, why not?
You may don't want loan Luiz on a permanent deal. They wouldn't bribe me, but I don't know.
I think they could accept. I think they could accept a loan deal if they had some form of like, obligation to buy.
But that's the thing. That's the thing with us, though. Are we going to want Louise as a long-term option? That's the thing.
I don't see why not, because inevitably when Rodri comes back, he is going to have his minutes are going to have to be managed. Louise has proven that he's, he can be a bit part player. He's been a bit part player at Juventus. I'll just shut my mouth.
This joint women's team. I mean, I'll be a mad signing as well. Douglas Luiz and Alicia Leon in the same team. Diaz is on. Yeah, well, I've seen that. Is that actually true? And about him, I don't know anymore. He's playing rumours about players and going out each other's whatever. But yeah, and we should have a great song. Actually, it'll be a great. It would actually be. I thought about I do the songs that I could sing for my moosh, but yeah, that'd be good. Yeah. They got Pong. I showed you. Yeah, sure, it'll be fine, mate. I'll send the link in the chat if you want to join in, mate. Yeah, look, to be honest, Hong, right? At the moment, right, we're currently in rumors going now, where we have no idea exactly what's going on at the moment with obviously, like actual rumors right now. It's just all guessed, like obviously from Egyptian media and that. It's fine. Everyone's sort of going off like just hoping for the best at this point. Well, I'll say to you if you want to join, mate. But yeah, I mean, look, it's what it is. Well, I do hope we sort of get some players in soon. But I'm being honest with you, right? The more I sort of think about it, the more I'm probably thinking a one transfer thing. I'm not, it's been if, but the more I'm sort of seeing like players get shut down or rooms get shut down, I keep thinking who else we're getting this month. So, yeah.
But overall, I'm happy with another win. I think defensively we were poor, especially in that first half. But I've seen signs from Savio today that and of late where he needs to play on that left. We can't do the usual thing of playing him on the right one game, then playing him on the left another game, and then switching him halfway through a game from right to left. And if he's going to play left wing, he needs to stay left wing. He's proven over the last two games that he's been exceptional at left wing. So he needs to stay there. And then, like you say, it needs to be a fight between Bob and Doku for right wing. But I don't think Pep trusts Doku because he doesn't seem to start that many games.
That's one thing, because I mean, we've seen Savio and Doku once recently, but I think he trusts him. That's clearly he trusts Savio. He just trusts him.
Oh yeah, he does trust Savio. You can see that. You can see that he trusts Savio.
With Doku, though, as women, I'm thinking he hasn't really. I mean, he's been shown glimpses of it, but so far it's been very missed. It's not quite, properly working. Now, I'm not saying he has to go. I think there's a player in there, but it's whether or not Pep gives him a run of games. I think he has to at some point. At some point, you can run a game. Say, right, you'll start the next few games. Let's see how you do. You might as well at this point because him and Savio can work together because obviously you've got two wingers who do different things, like Sané and Sterling. He's doing really well. So I think you've got to give players a go. And Steve, you're right, mate. I think it has eased him. He definitely has got. It has, that confidence he's got now in himself to sort of go for it now. I think it's nice seeing him. I mean, also because Arsenal to start the season, that pass to Haaland behind Saliba and Gabriel shows you enough for me. as a player in there. And
definitely. The thing is, the problem that we had was that the whole team's been playing bad. And when the whole team plays bad, it doesn't matter if you're trying to create something or do something. Inevitably, you're just going to look as bad as the rest of them, even when you're trying. So, same with Haaland. Haaland's, four Premier League games before the last game. I think it was like 4 or 5 Premier League games without a goal.
Yeah.
Now when you're not firing, the whole when the whole team ain't scoring goals. When we're not winning games, we're too heavily reliant on Erling Haaland, scoring goals and keeping us in games. And when he's your only striker, we kind of have to rely on him. We were quite fortunate last year that Phil Foden came out and took a lot of the brunt off Haaland when it comes to scoring goals. He had his best season goals wise. And he also took a lot of the brunt of the fact that Kevin De Bruyne wasn't fit and playing. The problem is when Phil Foden ain't playing well, when Haaland ain't playing well, when other players around them as well aren't playing well, but the whole team just looks bad. So it's nice to see that we're starting to slowly come. Like I said before, it's important that we continue scoring goals because it doesn't matter if we concede as long as we score more than the other team. That's effectively all that matters. That we might not play well, but if the team if we score 3 and our opponents score 2, we're gonna win games. Like, do you know what I mean? That's all there is to it. If you, simple as it sounds, score more than the other team and you'll win a football match. So you don't always have to play well. The problem is we weren't scoring, and defensively we were really poor. So now the fact that we're starting to score a bit more and start taking our chances. Hey, you're right, Huang.
Right.
How you doing? I'm a bit. It's quite snowing out here, but I still want to show up for you guys.
That's all good, man. I appreciate it. We wish you coming on, man. Yeah, no, it's nice to sort of have a chat.
Loving the hat.
Loving the hat, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much, man. I appreciate the compliment of the hat. I mean, obviously, it's that time of year again, of course, in terms of the weather. But hey, I'm happy with the win. As I was watching it, a bit annoyed with the goal conceded, but listen, 2 back-to-back wins for the first time since for the first time in 70 games, if I'm correct. Was it 70 days?
Yeah,
sorry. And and I think Savinho now, his confidence has skyrocketed ever since he scored his first goal against Leicester. And I think I had a feeling to myself that he hasn't looked back since, and I hope he continues his rich vein of form going forward in the next couple of games. Of course, Haaland has proved once again form is temporary and class will always be permanent with his 2 goals today. And of course, Phil Foden, even though he's fighting his issues with his stomach, he still managed to get on the score sheet as well. And yes, of course, I'm happy with the win and 3 points. Performances I don't really care about, but I can't lie. I can't hide the fact that we are West Ham found it so easy to cut us open like a hot knife through butter.
Yeah, exactly. That was another day West Ham could have got 2 or 3. People would say, "Oh, but it's if buts maybes." Well, the problem is though, throughout the last few games, it has been the other way around where we have other teams sort of us and beating us 4-5-1. So we got to look at it like this. Like, it doesn't matter how you try and say, if maybe it's like kind of stuff. Like, are issues in this team that have to be rectified, and we got to work out defensively. It's not easy to start cutting us through. It's been an issue, I think, throughout the entire season. Even the start of the season, it wasn't just Brentford. We sort of Brentford get through too easily. It's been an issue that we've had for a long time. I mean, we've got to start working on it. Yeah,
it's also a good time to play West Ham. You know, West Ham are in probably the worst form that I think I've ever seen West Ham in. So I think it was a good time. I think it was a good time to play them, because I think sometimes you just need to play a weaker side, get some goals, and just it naturally just builds your confidence back up. So when you're a boxer, for example, you take on, like, before you're coming up to a big fight, normally, like, as you're working your way up, you take on a couple of easy fights just to build your confidence. So I think that's naturally, you know, it kind of works the same in all kind of sports. You know, you take on a couple of weaker opponents and, you know, score some goals, and it'll just naturally improve the confidence in the players. And sometimes that's all you need. You know, it's not the fact that you know, we're a bad team. It's not the fact that, you know, we're bad football players. It's the fact that when your confidence gets shot, sometimes you just need something like this to kickstart you back into winning ways. And, you know, next game, you know, I don't know, I can't remember off the top of my head who it is we're playing next game, but
Salford City at home in the FA Cup, Bevo.
Yeah. I think you're going to see a lot of changes for that anyway. You're going to see people like McAtee start, and probably Nico O'Reilly might get some minutes, and you know, I can see it being definitely a bit of a weakened side put out. But Premier League wise, I don't know who it is that we've got next. I feel like I want to say Crystal Palace, but I think I'm wrong.
Brentford away.
Brentford away. No,
that will be a hard one. That will be a tough.
Yeah, no, it will be a hard one, but again, not impossible.
No, it won't be. But I was saying on the counter attack, Vissel and Bomo Dam's counter attack. That we got to be careful. We got to be careful.
No, yeah, we have to be careful. We cannot play Kyle Walker for that game. Simple.
Vissel against Walker. Get out of there, man. Honestly,
Walker was on the pitch for 10 minutes today. Walker was on the pitch for 10 minutes today and conceded, and we conceded. I'm not saying that it's his fault, but it seems to be whenever he's on the pitch, we can see goals. So there's obviously something wrong there.
Yeah, it's a shame, but it just feels a little bit at the moment like, you know, it's just weak confidence in the squad right now. That's what we need. And Walker for me is the one player that comes on and you can tell the player just lose confidence immediately because they know he isn't as good as he used to be. Like, I think everyone else is different, but I think everyone knows about him, about where he is now. I think he has to accept now that his level is no longer you know, where it was 2 years ago. It's sad because I love Walker, you know, for what he's done, but I just don't think, you know, I think it's time to move on now. He's done it a bit now, but I just don't think he's the right player anymore for us. Right back.
Am I right in saying that he didn't get the armband back again in today's match?
Yeah, Kevin De Bruyne kept hold of it.
Yeah, I love that. I was like, yeah. Well, at least the players don't know now. Although, you know, he's not captain, but I think for me, Ruben Diaz needs to be captain. He's back on the team. Give Diaz
needs to be. And I'd have Rodri as vice.
Yeah, well,
agree.
He's back fit, yeah, definitely, 100%. because the thing is, right, it was just having both Diaz Rodri on a, like both are out injured. They're both on the sidelines, watching the team train, and you can tell they're obviously in there still, they with them still. And I think Rodri being back at there now doing recovery, you can really tell that I think happy to see him back. Obviously, he's not back with the team yet, playing and training, but his presence in the squad is massive. Massive presence. We need that. I'm not saying we need him back, but we do obviously need him back. But we need his presence and his leadership back, because he talks loud and sort of gets a lot out of the players. Like, he gets everyone going. Like him and Diaz both talking, it gets the players going. I think that's what we need now. We need everyone to come together and sort of think, look, 2 games won in a row. Beat Seoul first 3, first 4. Start going on a winning run. As a target, win every game this month. PSG, we can do it. Just go and get the results. Because bear in mind, next month, Liverpool, Arsenal, and Newcastle in the month. You want to go that month on a winning run. So why not start now? Because again, this current top 4 is getting very close right now. If we win a few games, I think we'll be at least the way it's going with results. But the league, until I see them drop points and start falling off, then maybe we have a chance. And that is more of a, if we get lucky to the point where we have a chance of winning that. But for me, top 4's the aim. That's the aim right now for me.
Yeah, no, definitely.
And
by the way, Huang, I've seen you. I've seen your DMs, mate. I'm not ignoring you. I've just been hectic with Christmas.
It's all good. Don't worry about it. I think I've seen the same way as well. So I was gonna say, I mean, in terms of the league, I'm not really thinking about right now. I'm just more about the next game. And I think now that obviously got 2 wins on the bounce with Leicester and West Ham out of the way. Of course, we've got Brentford away next in the Premier League. Of course, but until that happens, it's Salford City. Even though it's a lot of changes, still want to win that just to keep the morale going. And I know the transfer news have been running hot, but I think as I was thinking about Marmoush, I was like, okay, I think it will happen, but at the same time, it's like, from Eintracht Frankfurt's perspective, do they really want to sell him right now? Because obviously they're chasing a place in the Champions League next season, and they're going to need
the guy's got 18 goals and 12 assists in 24 games. Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Foul level. Egyptian man.
Yeah, he's
that's like us selling Erling Haaland halfway through a season. We're not going to do it.
I don't blame Frankfurt for not wanting to sell him. I think they want to wait for the summer, and I don't blame them for feeling that way. So I think it just all depends. But I think, and I still believe that players will come in at the very, very least. Well, if not, I'll say 2 players at the very least before the window closes. I can understand all others more skepticism saying, "Oh, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen." But for me, I do think it will happen. I think obviously I know there's links with Kusanov from Lens, the Uzbekistan international. Of course, there's links with Edison from Atalanta. I'm not too sure about Edison of Atalanta. I think Kusanov is a very strong possibility. And before anybody jumps on the scale about him being Uzbekistan, I want to mention that because I am Asian and I do watch the Asian qualifiers for the World Cup. Uzbekistan are just like second place behind Iran in World Cup qualifying, and they just need. I think they're just 2 wins away from qualifying for their first ever World Cup final. So I want to put that out there before.
The thing is, though, Juan, I don't really look at that too much, because you look at Norway. You know, they've got Odegaard, Erling Haaland, and Oscar Bob. They haven't qualified for the World Cup. Does that make Erling Haaland or Odegaard a lesser player? No. So
no, I'm not saying that. It's just I'm saying I just because when I pay attention to things like this, just makes me wonder okay, there's got to be a reason why Uzbekistan, the national team, are where they are in there. And I think I'm looking at matches and I think, okay, I was paying attention to their performances. I think, okay, who is this kid? Then I looked a bit of him, but then I think, okay, he plays for Lens. Okay, cool. Let me just say. And then the only recent game I watched from him is against in the French version of the FA Cup, the Coupe de Ligue, if it's called, against PSG, and they won on penalties. I think they won on penalties. I think they won on penalties, if I'm correct. And he was man of the match in that match. And the way he
I remember seeing the Arsenal game. I remember seeing the Arsenal game where Lens played, or Lens, however you say it, played Arsenal,
Yeah.
and I watched this guy. Obviously, I didn't pay too much attention to him, but now that it's starting to sort of come out and things, I'm starting to sort of rejig my memory, and he held it down really well, and especially against pacey players like Martinelli, like he had players like that on lock, like no problems. He's not scared of going in for a tackle. I like him because I can see he's a very old-fashioned style defender. He goes for the ball, and if he gets the man, then so be it. He's going to pick up a few yellows, especially in the Prem, but I genuinely I like these type of players. I think Gvardiol is like the same, or was the same kind of player when he was at Leipzig. You know, he's very rough in a tackle, but goes for the ball, like, you know, an absolute general at the back. And I think that's really, to be honest, I think that's what we need. He's very, very fast as well, like very fast. I think he clocked up. I think it was either this season or last season. He clocked a time of getting back, and he clocked a speed of, I think, 35 kilometers an hour. Like, that's ridiculous for a centre back. That's ridiculous.
Yeah,
I think the only weaknesses from him, because I did my scouting report. I just read my scouting report. What I feel he can play from the back. He's probably not as well, the strongest point. But I think he's more of a, like I said, an old school fashion defender. He's more of a defender than a ball playing centre back. So he's more of a defender first than a ball playing second. But I think that's how I judge. The way I judge him, like, okay, because I watched him against PSG and Arsenal, of course. I watched it last season. I thought, okay, I might want to look out for this guy as well. But I think 20 years old, still has room to go, and I think you have to take into consideration the injuries to Akanji, to Stones, and to Ake. I think having someone like Kuzanov is
and also Ruben Diaz as well. I've noticed Ruben Diaz has started to pick up quite a few injuries over the last few seasons.
Yeah, I would say so as well. It's just because you think about, like, there's no continuity in the defense in recent times. So I think that's something to do, of course, and also not only continuity but also availability in the centre back position as well, because we haven't had that.
Can you imagine that back four though? Can you imagine that back four of Akanji, Diaz, however you say that guy's name, and Gvardiol?
Akanji, Diaz, not Gvardiol.
Yeah,
you've got absolute animals in that back four now.
100%. Wow. Yeah, I think that for me is what we're going to get back to, that level of defense where clean sheets are like goals to us. It's just important. That's why we were so good in the treble season, because every time we got a clean sheet in the defense, we're just buzzing about it, and we're love defending. That's kind of been lost this and last season. It hasn't been the same. I mean, that's what we've got to start getting back to. I think if we can get someone like Kusanov in, I'm not saying he's the answer, but he's a future probably a defender that also come through. For me, he's worthwhile getting for that price. That price that's paid for him is a bargain. I'll be doing it.
Yeah, I think it's £20 million is probably the fee, and I think that's reasonable and it's gettable for me personally.
Yeah.
And the fact that Lens are going to make a huge profit as well, because Lens signed him from Buyukendor, which is an Uzbek. I think it's the Uzbekistan's top flight, for 100,000 euros, and now look at him now, and wow, I think what a talent! Yeah, what a talent he is, and I'm definitely looking forward to seeing more of him in Lens as well, because they're playing Toulouse tomorrow. I think it's a 2 p.m. kickoff. So I think if you ever get the chance to watch that game, I think you should watch that as well and see how he does. And I think then just go from there.
I'll Salah just try Man United tomorrow. That'll be good, because honestly, right, I don't want Liverpool to win tomorrow 2-1. I'm going to beat United, but if you're going to beat United, back them 8-9-0, please. Don't make it a annoying comeback win against United. I'll be at a real piss take. to do that because Liverpool, look, we're Liverpool are the best team in the league. That's yes. I want to see them batter United tomorrow. Like, I know it's like title race, but look, for me right now, I care about getting top four right now, but and I really care, right now about what happens next. But I want to see United like get 15th. Just how funny it would be seeing a 15th place would be hilarious. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean, I think I would say Manchester United and Barcelona are in neck and neck for around who's the best comedy club in terms of how run they are. Because I don't know if you've been paying attention. I don't know if you're paying attention to Dani Olmo, and I was like, you know what, like. I would say this, like, if I was any player that's looking to join Barcelona, I would probably ask them a lot of questions that, can you guarantee a registration for me in the squad or I'm not coming? And you think about it, like, I feel for him and Carl Victor as well for the first. I mean, Dani Olmo, like, he's not free agent, if that makes sense. He's more like he just can't play for Barcelona in La Liga, and there's a possibility he won't play for them in the Champions League as well, which is quite disheartening for both for him as well. So I don't know I want to see how this story develops going forward, and because Olmo wants to stay at Barcelona, but if Barcelona told him I'm sorry, but I can't register, it's not gonna do well for his career going forward, because like he can't just spend the next 6 months doing absolutely nothing and wait for next season hoping things to get better. I think hopefully there's a solution for him out there. As well, but as far as I'm concerned about Dani Olmo, I just want to see how this little registration chaos develops in the next couple of days, and maybe there's a possibility of getting him on a free. And because of that, don't forget Barcelona, they still have to pay Leipzig for the transfer fee. They still have to pay his wages until 2030. They still have to. It's basically, if I'm reading it correct, you can correct me if I'm wrong. They're looking at the cost like 230 million euros in terms of wages, transfer fee, everything involved around Olmo, which is quite embarrassing.
Yeah, it's the fact they have to sell so much of their club, and the stadium, and all the rights to pitch and that, just to make all these levers. Like, how many levers have you really got to pull at this point? Like, you probably pulled all of them by now. I've never seen a football runs poor. Like, they're right. I know United are terrible, right? Barcelona are a whole different level of hell. Like, and the fact is, right, if they feel one stuff because of players like Yamal, Messi, and that, like, if that Messi and Lamine Yamal, players like that, they'd be nowhere near where they are right now. Like, look at Madrid, right. Madrid right now are a decent team at best. They're not a world class team right now. They've got players getting sent off for stupid shit. They've got Bellingham missing penalties. We only won yesterday against Valencia, but if you actually watched the game, they're poor. Valencia won the game. This is what I mean. Like, Madrid are run better because they are a much better run club because they've got a better hierarchy in place. Barcelona are a complete utter mess right now, and you got United just an absolute, just a disastrous. I've never seen a football club like have rats and mice on the pitch and like leaks. I've never seen a club that low and poor who was up here at one point in terms of an institution in football. This is what I mean. So in terms of like where we are, nowhere that bad, nowhere near it. So for me, I'm just happy to we said I'm Bessie. Well, mate, at this point, mate, I think it's best to help them out right now, mate.
What I do agree with the fact that I know Barcelona, like even though they're so crippled financially, they're not gonna be backed into a corner to sell the likes of Yamal, Pedri, Gavi, and Kubasi, no doubt. But it comes to a point. Look, they're looking to get rid of De Jong as well, which is because of his high wages as well. And it's just so bad. Even I mean, I saw De Jong's interview the other day saying that he should have won double what he's won so far at Barcelona. I was like, I must just think to myself, I mean, like, did you even realize the hellhole you're about to go into before you signed for the club back in 2019?
I always said, right, he should have gone City instead of us. Imagine we had Frankie de Jong at that time, who was an outgoing player in the Ajax team playing for Barcelona. I think he'd be an even better player right now. I know it doesn't necessarily wouldn't matter anyway, but I think he'd be a much better footballer under Pep Guardiola right now than he would be at Barcelona. Barcelona, he's sort of stunted. He got better, he just maintained it for a reason. As all of a sudden just fell off massively. Like, look at there's a reason why Messi left as well. Like, it's just an absolute mess. Like, any young player going there, you are wasting your career.
I mean, I'm just saying. I can only say things from the outside looking in, but what I'm seeing from the outside looking in terms of Barcelona, I mean, like, how much of a how much more chaos can it get? I mean, Van der Porta is trying to find loophole after loophole after loophole, trying to register both Olmo and Victor in, and has failed so far. But I'm still waiting to see that it develops. I mean, if I was a Barcelona fan, I'm thinking like, oh my God, what is the future going to look like in the next couple of years as well, losing players? But I mean, I won't be surprised if at any point in the future if they use any of their star man. I mean, I won't be realistic, even though they won't be able to sell them. But I won't be surprised if at any point in the future they may have to do it. I mean, they don't want to do it, but they may do it at some point. But I think like I'm not saying it will happen. I'm just saying like there's a very good chance Olmo could leave on a free transfer or go on loan for the next 6 months at some point. I'm not hoping for. I'm not like.
He technically can't go on loan though, can he? Because if they can't register him, then he's not a Barcelona player. So who's he on loan from?
That's a good question.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, look, I think
even if you didn't want him, it would be an investment taking him on a free transfer anyway.
Yeah, he's only 26. I've still got room to
That's
grow
what I mean.
Player.
Even if it didn't work out for, say he went to City and say it didn't really work out for him, what are we actually losing?
That's a good question. Yeah, that's a good point. And don't forget,
we're taking him for free. Yeah, we're paying his wages, but yeah, we're taking him for free. We could sell him for 20 million and make 20 million profit on him.
Yeah. I mean, don't forget, he's good friends with Gavardio. They played together at Zagreb and they played together at Leipzig. I mean, you could bet your bottom dollar Gavardio may be banging on the phone to him saying, hey, what's going on with your situation at Barcelona? And maybe, I'm not saying it, I don't know if it happened. I don't think it will happen. Maybe Pep is sitting on the phone with him saying, hey, what's going on with your situation at Barcelona? So, like, you know, I'm pretty sure they want to get a whiff of what's going on with his situation over there right now. I'm pretty sure Gavardio is on the phone with him, messaging him back and forth, asking him what's going on. Maybe like and see if he's interested in the possibility of joining City, where he knows he'll be looked after and where he knows he will be in the position to compete as well. I mean, of course, he's got Rodri there as well, and yeah, I agree with you, Steve, about almost being there, but I still want to see how the story develops in the next couple of days.
I think a lot will need to happen. I think we have to admit he had to go. I think before I see any kind of Danny Olmo, like, I'll avoid in a bit. I can't see Danny Olmo happening unless he publicly admits he has to leave. That's where I'm at there right now. I don't think that's going to happen. If Barcelona always something out the bag, or Olmo has to literally say, I have to go. And that happens.
They'll sell a few more blades of grass or something, won't they?
Or more levers. If I need more levers under the sofa, more levers to pull. There you go. And then all of a sudden, got more money out of nowhere. Like that club, right? I don't know how. Literally, like Bartomeu, right? Ruined that completely. It just sold Messi in 2020, right? Nothing. All this would have happened.
Yeah.
But yeah. You know, I think obviously we'll probably end it there. I think now it's been about almost an hour and a half. But look, it's a big win today. 2 wins on the bounce. First time since October. It's a long way to go for the season. You know, no one's getting giddy or excited about stuff yet. It's one at a time. Salford next week, but hopefully during the week we'll get some updates on the actual transfer window front. I'm sure we will. Again, all we'll get right. There's a lot of rumors saying it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's mixed signals right now. No one else going on. The best thing we can do is wait and see. Me, if you're in the chat right now or on Twitter, YouTube, make sure if you like what you've done already, or subscribe channel if you haven't already. Also, leave a comment after to let know who you think we should get in. I think if you also want to know who to follow or who to watch for signing, I'll probably say follow Simon Bajkowski, Jack Gold, or Sam Lee. They're probably the three you want to sort of. Or Martin Blackburn does a few here and there, but not as much as used 2 years ago. But the three you want to probably look out for as the main sources for City, they're the ones you want to follow to look at. Until they say something about it, I probably would be a pinch of salt. Everything you hear about stuff right now, because right now it's up in the air. Mixed reports. Best to sort of just leave it and just chill on that front. But yeah, but before I end, you two, do you want everything I need before we leave?
I'm just happy with the win. I'm not gonna say we're back just yet. I want to see this consistently in the next couple of weeks, and then I'll give my verdict on to say if we're back or not.
Yeah, go on, about.
Yeah, I was just going to say the same. Pretty much echoing what Huang said. I think that there's big things to come. I think there's more. There's a lot more that's going to happen over the coming week. I think you'll start to see a bit more activity happening. But yeah, just keep positive. Another win, 3 more points in the bag.
Yeah,
keep going.
Yeah, so top right now, I think top 4's here at the moment. Let's go. Try to get top 4 and second. Then let's see what happens to Liverpool. Liverpool's dropping points, and we start in. Let's see what happens. But at the moment, top 4. Let's get secured first before we worry about anything else, and also FA Cup as well. Bring it on. New year, new City. Hopefully, new City. Hopefully, to be better last year, and hopefully have a good year this year to transfers, and also the fan base as well. That's a good one as well. Like, let's stop being over each other, being personal and arguing. It doesn't do anything. Look, we all want the right. We want players in. Results obviously go our way. Let's just chill a bit. Let's relax. It will come good eventually. 2 wins in the row is brilliant so far. Great. But let's focus now. It's off next week, and the rest of the games this month. Come on, City till we die. See you guys next time on the stream and the rest of your weeks. Take care.